Bro, Stephen Curry and LeBron James, when they retire, this league might be finished, bro. For like the 100th time in a row, these guys just gave us a fucking classic of a game. These Christmas Day games have been phenomenal. Please don't get me wrong. These games have been absolutely beautiful, wonderful, masterful. There's one game left. I'm not going to watch it probably because I got to go to bed. I got to make a 12-hour drive tomorrow. Y'all weren't even going to get this video, but bro, what Steph and LeBron just did, putting on an absolute masterclass of a show in just prime time basketball. You got LeBron James dropping 31 and 10 assists. You have Austin Reeves dropping a 24 point, or maybe a 25 point. I don't know. He hit a bunch of free throws. It might be like, low-key, it might have been like a 28 point triple-double with the game-winning layup over Andrew Wiggins. We're going to get there in a second. Please don't get me wrong. We're going to get there in a second. 115 to 113 in San Francisco was the final score. Stephen Curry, bro. Not only throughout this whole game, but especially in the clutch, it was Steph Curry and nobody else. It was literally nobody else. Now, the offensive rebounds for Golden State, they were massive in the fourth quarter and throughout the game. Those offensive rebounds were great. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they weren't. But when we're talking about offense, it was Steph, it was Wiggins, and Kuminga had a few dunks. And Wiggins didn't even do nothing crazy. It wasn't like he dropped 21. It was 19 fucking shots. It's not that impressive. You know what I'm saying? And then you let up the game-losing layup. You let up a layup to Austin Reeves at the end of the game. This man, Austin Reeves, went out there. Yeah, it was a 26-point, 10 assist, 10-board triple-double. Bro. The Warriors have to do something about this shit, bro. Steph Curry is out here doing everything he possibly can. You're down the whole stretch. This man hits a three over LeBron in the corner where he has to let it up off his shoulder, hits that whole cash, and then down the court he hits off of a sideline out of bounds where they just fouled the Austin Reeves and Max Christie hit the clutch free throws like back-to-back possessions. Steph Curry comes down off of a sideline out of bounds play. It was a beautiful play by Steve Kerr. Hits like a 30-footer. At least 30-footer. Nobody was within 5 to 7 feet of him. He pulls up, takes that whole cash. What are you supposed to do about that? But then guess what happens? There's 6 seconds left in the game. As soon as I saw that there were 6 seconds left, I knew that they lost. Because one, there's nobody on that team that's really stopping LeBron when he really wants it. And then at the second, and then two, apparently they can't even fucking stop Austin Reeves, let alone LeBron James. Anthony Davis played a total of 7 minutes in this game. He rolled his ankle in the first quarter. Let me tell you, I watched all of this game. I watched the entirety of this game. The Lakers were winning for most of it, even without Anthony Davis. The Warriors have to do something. The things that LeBron and Steph are giving us are absolute classics every single time. The fact that this was even a close game was only because Anthony Davis was out and Steph Curry was out there putting up a masterclass. Without those two factors, it was nothing because LeBron hooping, Austin Reeves hooping. So if they would have had Anthony Davis in the mix, they would have won by 20. But no. Stephen Curry goes out there and does a Superman of a performance, puts up 38 points on good efficiency, 14 of 24, 8 for 15 from 3, above 50% in both areas, 6 assists. Now, he did have 4 turnovers, but we all know Steph Curry's always been a high turnover guy. You have to get him some help. Buddy Hield, 5 points. Gary Payton, 4 points. It's not his role. Brandon Podziemski, 6 points. On one possession, he missed, I want to say it was like a layup or, first of all, on one possession, and I think it was the first half, the nigga airballed a floater. Luckily for him, it was Trace Jackson Davis or Kuminga or somebody caught it, and they just put it back up. The nigga airballed a floater. It looked like it was one of those things where he couldn't tell if he wanted to shoot it or pass it, which I don't really like to see from an NBA player. You should probably be a little more decisive than that, especially like when you have an open floater or an open, like, pick one of them. I don't care which one, but pick one of them. Instead, he just like basically airballed a floater. It just looked bad. Brandon Podziemski didn't do a damn thing. Buddy, and he played 24 minutes, 6 points. I know, I can't wait to see Flight's reaction to this game. I haven't watched a Flight reaction to a basketball game in a little bit. I haven't really been watching that type of stuff on YouTube, really. But I want to see his reaction to this game just because I want to see him go look at the box score and see Buddy Hield in 17 minutes hit 1-3, 1 for 5, hit 5 points. I want to see Kuminga in his 28 minutes. Kuminga, now, all 14 of his points were basically highlights. Like, well, the free throws weren't, but like the dunks that he had, I think he made 4 for 10 field goals. Three of them were dunks. At least 3 of them were insane dunks. Like, he had one dunk where it was so crazy. I went into the group chat saying, I just saw this man kill 2 men. Like, he put them boys in the basket. Please don't get me wrong. But then you got Dennis Fumble the Bag Scrotum, who for the first time since he's gotten to Golden State could finally hit a 3, but he couldn't hit shit else. The nigga went 3 for 6 from 3, but then 3 for 10 from the field. 11 points in 28 minutes as a starter. Andrew Wiggins. Now, again, Andrew Wiggins didn't have a bad game. It just wasn't great efficiency, but he dropped a 20-point double-double. You can't really be mad at that. Did he let up the game-winning layup? Yeah, that's Austin Reeves is burning their ass all night. It's whatever. Pause. Whoa. Burning their ass all night. Wow. Pause. Oh my goodness. Trace Jackson Davis did what you expect him to do. I'm not mad at him. Draymond Green, 1 for 6. There was in the first quarter, I kid you not, It might have been 3 back-to-back-to-back possessions, or if not, it was damn close. This nigga Draymond Green, from the left corner, wide open on all 3 shots, from the left corner, from the 3-point line, beyond the 3-point arc. Brick, brick, brick. Wide open, I'm talking. And keep in mind, this is a dude that's shooting, what, 38, 39% from 3 this year? This is one of the better 3-point shooting years of his career. Now, did he do the things you expect him to do? Yes, he did. But my nigga, 3 points? In a game where you lose by 2, you had 3 points. You took 6 shots. 5 of them were threes. Huh? What? Rui Hachimura came out there and dropped 18 on y'all? On good efficiency, 50% from the field. Anthony Davis left the game without scoring a fucking point. And you lost? What do the Warriors got going on? Max Christie dropped 16. It wasn't efficient. It wasn't good. But then he's hitting the clutch free throws down the stretch. I'm like, what the fuck? Austin Reeves burned y'all. Again, it wasn't on great efficiency, but when they needed him to do something, guess who was there? It was Bron and it was Austin Reeves. The things that LeBron James and Stephen Curry are doing for this league are beyond measure. The league is fucking up by not having Christmas jerseys. They're fucking up by making the playoffs look like the fucking regular season. Literally, the only games that are distinguishable from regular season games are the NBA Cup games, just because they have different courts and different jerseys. We don't even get that shit for Christmas or the playoffs. For the fucking finals, the damn Larry O'Brien trophy's not even on the court. The league has so many problems, and this video wasn't supposed to be about that, but what this video is about is how these two guys, time and time again, deliver. Now, this isn't just about them. All the Christmas Day games have been phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but it's these two guys. Every single time they match up, it's must-see TV. I don't care if you were the most casual basketball fan in the world. If you see, and I don't give a fuck how bad their teams are, because Stephen Curry's team is bad. LeBron James' team is not good. They're not as bad as Stephen Curry's team, but they're not good. I don't care if you're the most casual fan or how bad their teams are. When you see LeBron James versus Stephen Curry, national TV primetime matchup, it's every single time and everybody's watching. I don't care if you didn't watch the Spurs versus Knicks game, which if you didn't watch, you missed out. It was a great game. If you didn't watch the Celtics versus 76ers game, that was a good game. If you didn't watch the Mavs versus the Timberwolves, that was a pretty good game. You watched this game. What is the league going to do when they don't have these two guys? Because the ratings are already ass. Imagine when you don't have these two guys to bank on every single time they match up. And keep in mind, they're in the same conference now. They're in the same division. They're matching up 4 times a year, and every single time the world is watching, and every single time they deliver. The game could be a 10-point, 15-point win for either team, and those two guys are still delivering. You are still seeing a masterclass. It's amazing. They're 36, 35, 36, and 39 years old at the end of their careers. Both of them recently been talking about retirement. Now they're thinking about it, and they're still hoping. They were easily tonight the 2 best players on their respective teams. Easily. It wasn't even close. On Golden State, it wasn't even close at all. Now, on LA, Austin Reeves had his big moments, but in Golden State, that shit was not close. It was Stephen Curry and everybody else. You have LeBron James guarding Steph. This nigga says, oh, hold on, signature moment. Shoots that hoe from over here, corner, splash. His heel was damn near touching the out of bounds. It was off of a baseline out of bounds where he was the fucking inbounder. LeBron played the defense perfectly. He couldn't have played better. And the man hits it. And then he comes down the fucking court, off a sideline out of bounds again. The first one was a baseline out of bounds. Off the sideline out of bounds this time. And it's a 30-footer. He took a second to compose himself, hit that hoe all net to tie the game. But then guess what fucking happens? Because you leave 6 seconds on the clock, which is not fault to Steph Curry. Obviously, when he has that shot, he has to take it. Like, no fault to him at all. Plus, he made it. So, no fault to him at all. But what I'm saying is the team is so ass, you can't get one stop when you need it? You couldn't get one? Oh, my. The Warriors have to do something. They have to do something. I don't know what that something is. But if you're serious about maximizing the Stephen Curry era, as you should be, the man won you 4 fucking rings. I don't care if you are a poverty franchise for 15 to 20 years after he retires. You need to do everything you can to get him to 5 rings. Because without him, you're not the most valuable franchise in basketball. You're not. It's not even close. You would not be that. No. What were the Warriors before Steph Curry? What were the Warriors before 2015? What were they valuable-wise, value-wise, monetary value-wise? What were they before Steph Curry? So if I'm the Warriors GM or Warriors fan, I don't want to hear shit about the future. I could give a fuck, to be real. That's why I thought that whole not trading Brandon Podziemski's untouchable, Jonathan Kuminga, we expect a great package. I don't give a fuck. Not a little bit of a fuck. Now, if you would have drafted Anthony Edwards, you have the right. But you didn't. So now it's about doing everything you can for number 30. And they need to do that shit. Mike Dunleavy, get on that shit. Because what he just did for you is showed you that he can only carry this team so far. He can drop 38 points, great efficiency, still be down the whole game until the final minutes where he can single-handedly ties that shit up. Possession after possession, keeping you in the game. Possession after possession after possession. And you still lose because you don't have shit else. Defense, ass. Offense, if you're not offense for everybody besides Steph Curry, ass. And now we're starting to see the decline a little bit of Steph Curry, respectfully, because we're seeing, well, he has a night like this, but after this, he's probably going to have a night or two where he drops 10 points on bad efficiency. Because that's just what it's been recently, because he's 36, 35 years old, carrying a team full of bums. I was thinking about this earlier in the day, and I was like, bro, like LeBron, at least he has AD. At least he has Austin Reeves. At least he has hope with Dalton Connect, who's a young guy. Stephen Curry. Former All-Stars that are on his team. Draymond Green, what, 1-2-time All-Star a decade ago? Andrew Wiggins, one-time All-Star, a year where Steph Curry carried them to the championship. He has no help. What are you supposed to do? Andrew Wiggins, again, didn't play bad today or anything, but what I'm saying is he doesn't have shit. Steph Curry doesn't have an Anthony Davis with him like LeBron does. Now, don't get me wrong, LeBron's not in a perfect situation. The Lakers have a ton of problems. Don't get me wrong, they can't shoot the ball for shit. That's another reason this game was close, was because they can't shoot the ball for shit, and they couldn't stop Steph Curry from shooting the ball. Like, simple. In this game, they actually shot the ball pretty well compared to what they normally do. They literally hit 3 less threes than the Warriors, and their percentage wasn't terrible. They just simply have more than what the Warriors have. Steph Curry is all the Warriors have. Mike Dunleavy has to do something, because we're seeing master classes from these two guys. These two guys are proving that their respective team, they are good enough that their respective teams should do everything in their power to maximize the current era. Steph Curry more than LeBron James, because Steph Curry's been on this team his whole career. LeBron, I get it. You're saying he might retire after this year. He might leave in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying. With Steph, for the Lakers, you gotta understand, Lakers fans aren't gonna be okay with you being ass after LeBron leaves. He's not. They're not gonna be. They're not gonna be. Step with the Warriors. If you're a Warriors fan, you should be okay with going 0-82 5 straight times if it means getting Steph Curry a 5th ring. And I just don't see how these front offices don't see that. I don't see how. If I'm Mike Dunleavy Jr., I'm putting all of my eggs in the Steph Curry basket, and once he retires, y'all niggas can fire me if it was a failure, or y'all can keep me on if it was a success. Either way, I'm going to sleep easy at night knowing I did everything I could for my franchise's greatest player of all time, by far the greatest point guard of all time, in my opinion. I did everything I could to maximize his window. I would sleep well at night knowing that, even if I set the team up for 20 straight years of ass. Because what you have right now is Steph Curry putting on masterclasses, but then the fans are going home thinking, damn, we still lost, and Steph just gave us one of the best performances we've seen. The league is in trouble when these two guys retire, let alone their two respective teams. Do everything you can to maximize it now. As fans, we need to do everything we can to maximize it, to respect it, to appreciate it while it's here. Because I promise you, I missed Kobe when he retired. How much more am I going to miss LeBron and Steph, the two guys that dominated my entire growing, like, teenage years, childhood, all of that, and my adult life for the most part, low key? Like, I've seen them both win rings when when LeBron won in 2020, I was what, 16, 17? I was probably like 17. When Steph won in 2022, I was like 19. LeBron won his first ring in 2012. That was 15 years ago almost. Steph, 2015. That was a decade ago, and these guys are still this great? appreciate the shit. Stop hating. Stop doing all that. As fans, we have to stop doing that, because what we are watching is a masterclass. People talking about, well, I don't like how they're friends. My nigga, you can't tell on the courts. Look at what they're doing. They're battling, going head to head. All these old heads talking about, I miss when there was real rivalries. Yeah, I wish there was more team versus team rivalries, but we gotta stop acting like just because LeBron and Steph are friends and just because they'll talk in the offseason and they'll do interviews together and shit doesn't mean that they're not rivals on the court. When they're on the court, they still do their job and perform every single fucking time. Every time. Fierce competitors against each other every fucking time. Every time. So I'm okay with them being friends off the court. Stop with that stupid shit, bro. Damn, the NBA Christmas games were amazing, man. If only they would have had Christmas jerseys like they used to have when I was a kid. Anyways, I love LeBron and Steph, bro. I love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Merry Christmas. I hope y'all had a great day. I love y'all. All right, bye.